It's time for Throwback Thursday, where we rewind to the greatest moments, memories, and music of our Gen X past. I'm Paul Stressner, and every week we revisit classic episodes, rediscover hidden gems, and celebrate the pop culture that shaped us. So grab your mixtape or fire up the VCR, and let's take a trip back in time. And now we turn it up to 11. Today's Throwback Thursday takes us back to 2017. Episode 11 of Return of the 80s, ironically and perfectly enough, for a deep dive into one of the most legendary cult comedies of all time. This is Spinal Tap. Joining Robert and me once again is our favorite taphead and good friend Scott Compton. Together we revisit the film that gave us some of the most quotable lines in movie history. These go to 11. And it's such a fine line between stupid and clever. And, of course, the unforgettable Stonehenge fiasco. So we break down our favorite scenes. Well, basically, it's all of them. And we geek out over the music, the mockumentary brilliance, and a few lesser-known fun facts, including the real-life lawsuit over merchandising rights. And because nothing says rock and roll like fighting for your share of mini Stonehenges and ill-fitting tour shirts. And here's the wild part. As of this recording right here, right now, This is Spinal Tap is nowhere to be found on any major streaming platform, and you can't even buy it or rent it digitally. So if you've got an old DVD lying around, or better yet, a VHS copy, you can go ahead and dust it off, because this gem is currently as underground as the band itself. And just before when we did originally do this, it was available maybe on Amazon or Netflix or something, but not anymore. And if you enjoyed this episode and want more Gen X throwbacks, interviews, and nostalgic deep dives, follow Gen X Journeys on your favorite podcast app and connect with me on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Gen X Journeys. And you can also visit genxjourneys.net to stay in the loop. And if there's any topics you'd like me to cover, you can, or just want to discuss anything, you can email me at paul@genxjourneys.net. So I want to thank you all for listening, and remember, these amps, they don't stop at 10. Welcome to Return to the 80s.
You killed my father. Prepare to die. They're here. Here's Johnny.
Through 2 decades, 17 classic albums, countless unforgettable concert triumphs, they changed the face of British rock music forever. And the best part is, they're back.
Spinal Tap, get out there, you're on!
Now, they're on the verge of the greatest comeback of all time.
Rock and roll! No sleep left!
This is their moment.
Right straight through this door here, down the hall. Yeah. Turn right.
Their time has come.
Rock and roll!
Any minute now. Any second.
Hello, stage! I think we're lost.
There's a little jog there, about 30 feet. Jog to the left.
Get ready. Get set.
Heavy metal's deep. You can get stuff out of it.
My name is Marty DeBerge. I'm a filmmaker.
One man dares to probe the hidden secrets.
I was just pointing at it. Well, don't point even. Don't even point? No. It can't be played. Never. I mean, can I look at it? No.
One man dares to hear the shocking answers.
It's tragic, really. He exploded on stage.
To questions like, is the world really ready for Spinal Tap?
You put a greased, naked woman on all fours with a dog collar around her neck and a leash. And pushing a black glove in her face to sniff it. You don't find that offensive?
No,
you don't find that sexist?
Well, you should have seen the cover they wanted to do.
years of vicious gossip.
The official explanation was he choked on vomit. Well, they can't prove whose vomit it was.
Years of ugly rumors.
It's a passing thing. This is a fad.
And you are Spinal Tap?
Oh, what's going on here? Hi.
Now, the vicious, ugly truth can be told.
Well, I'm sure I'd feel much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation.
Tap into America.
From the place where eardrums go to die, come the living legends of rock and roll lunacy. This is Spinal Tap.
You know, it's like Hemingway said, you know, remember them as they were and write them off.
Hey everybody, it's Paul. We're back with another episode right away.
Yes, we are. Waste no time. Robert here, calling from a very, very warm Nebraska, believe it or not, despite the fact that it's February. Don't worry, everybody. It's snowing on Saturday. It's okay.
It's the same in New England, too. So it was 60 degrees here today.
Mm-hmm. Same here.
And we also have a guest with us again this week. And you know him from before our Bon Jovi episode. Here's Scott.
Hey guys, great to be back. Thank you so much.
Scott, great to have you with us again.
I can't wait to talk about this tonight. We got a good one.
Yes.
Well, guys, you probably didn't know this, but we had somebody scheduled to sit in our in the fourth chair here, but he's no longer with us. He choked on his own vomit.
Or was it,
oh no, we don't know.
Sure, it wasn't somebody else's vomit.
Somebody else's, exactly.
Yeah, they can't do Dustin for that still.
What a great hint for today's episode.
Nice.
Yeah, so if you don't know by the download title, we're going to be covering This Is Spinal Tap. You know, it's a rockumentary. And speaking of that, Scott has this awesome podcast, 80s Mixtape Auto Reverse. Yeah, you've recorded a couple episodes since the last time you were here.
Yeah, I was having some technical difficulties on my end when I would start calls. It wouldn't pick up my mic, so I got that all resolved, and we actually were able to finish up the decade. You know, we covered heavy metal, which is appropriate for tonight's topic.
Exactly.
We covered all the heavy metal albums of the 80s, broke it down by decade or down by year, and actually Spinal Tap was mentioned back in what was this, 84 when it came out. So in 1984, that episode that we did, one of our favorite moments for albums was This Is Spinal Tap. And although it was this, like, the soundtrack, it wasn't really, or Smell the Glove, whatever you want to call it. Somebody chose it, and we talked about it in a short term. So, but I've been looking forward to doing a show on this movie ever since we brought it up. I'm like, this is just like one of the funniest movies ever made. So
it is.
So many great quotes and everything. Yeah. Someone you had suggested that to me. He's like, oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that. So yeah, happy about that. And I heard on a recent episode that you like Tesla.
Oh, I love Tesla.
Well, you can help Robert out here because Robert's going to be going to see them soon.
Really? You're going to go see Tesla? Oh, that's cool.
Def Leppard, Poison, and Tesla are playing in Lincoln on May 23rd. School for us is done for teachers on the 24th, so it's going to be a long 24th, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna suck it up and go see a pretty good rock show the night before the last day of school. So I'm pretty excited.
Very cool. That's going to be that's a good lineup.
Yeah, I've not seen any of the three, so I'm really pumped.
Yeah, I've never seen Def Leppard or Tesla, but I have seen Poison.
Okay.
At one of these type of, not a reunion tour, but where it was Slaughter, Dokken, Cinderella, and then Poison.
Okay.
Wow. Oh man, that's awesome.
In that order, I believe.
Okay.
And I would say Cinderella was the best of the four.
Okay, good.
Performance-wise. And I always liked them the best kind of anyway. Dokken was really good too. But little funny story about, well, not really funny for Don Dokken, but he was out on a jet ski like a day or two before the concert and like threw his back out.
Oh.
So he's like up on stage all like bent over and he's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm in a lot of pain right now. I'm going to do the best I can."
Jeez.
Oh, man.
So yeah, it was and he sat kind of on a stool kind of sideways and he was still able to belt it out, you know. I mean, with that voice that he's got, he's a pretty good singer. So either way. So yeah, that's when I did see Poison, but that should be a good show.
I hope so. Yeah.
I would love to see Def Leppard and
Yeah.
Tesla. They're both one of my favorite bands.
I'm excited to see all of them. Not having seen any of them, but I like all of them a lot. Tesla, I'm the least knowledgeable about. You know, I have all the Def Leppard stuff, all the Poison stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That one's a little new for me. I know the big songs, you know, but I'm pretty excited. I think it's going to be, I think, a pretty dang good show. And all of us are going. I'm the oldest one, which hurts a little bit, but we're all older. Obviously, know all the music and stuff, so I think it's going to be pretty good.
Yeah. Well, with Tesla, I'm guessing that they'll probably open with this specific song because it's very event centered.
Okay.
It's called "Coming at You Live."
Oh yeah, sure, yeah, definitely.
And that is the song that like grabbed my attention. I heard it on the radio one night. I had dropped my girlfriend off. I was coming home. I'm like, man, these guys are just tearing it up. And it was so fun to listen to the dueling guitars that they got going on at the beginning of the song. It's if they open up with that song, that's good stuff.
Okay, that does sound good. I'll let you know for sure. Gosh, you know, school all week, all year, and it's the end of school, and it's a great concert, and I just don't see any way it's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Def Leppard's awesome. I've seen them a couple of times. They still sound the same. So, yeah,
Good.
They're incredible.
Awesome.
All right. Now we're up to our other segment, Play This, Not That. Since we're covering Spinal Tap, I decided to do a rock theme today. So we picked Motley Crue, one of their popular songs that I'm just like, okay about it. It's
it's one of my least favorite, actually.
Agree completely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet the boys on floor number 2, smoking in the boys' room, smoking in the boys' room. Now teach you don't film it up with the rule, 'cause everybody knows they're smoking loud.
Please. Now just drag that needle back and forth a few more times. We're good to go.
Oh, I'm glad you agree with me about that. So yeah, like I love their earlier stuff, especially from their first 2 albums. So yep, I picked one from their first album that I never hear on the radio anyway. Live Wire.
Much better.
Cowbell. Yeah. This is probably one of my top songs of Motley Crue.
The only prescription is more cowbell.
Oh, nice.
The cowbell is good. It's very good.
Ding,
that's
ding,
what
ding.
that's what Motley Crue's supposed to sound like right there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The whole "Too Fast for Love" and "Shout at the Devil," just love it.
Absolutely.
Love it. Yeah, that just a hard driving sound. That's what I love. So yeah, definitely pick that. There, as far as covers that go, like "Helter Skelter" is my favorite one by them.
Yeah, that's a good one too. That's a good cover. They like to do a couple covers here and there.
Yeah.
Livewire is definitely probably my favorite off of that album, and then the follow up with "Shout at the Devil." That album was just those two really are Motley Crue for me. Most of the other albums after that, I kind of lost interest in.
Kind of hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially Theater of Pain was like, yikes.
Exactly. At Home Sweet Home.
Yeah,
that was.
It's exactly it. Though you make Home Sweet Home, you make a video for it, it gets on MTV, and it's played all the time, increases your record sales, and they feel like they gotta keep doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then same thing with Girls, Girls, Girls. Yeah. I'm not that crazy about that song, but I love Wild Side on that one. Yeah. So they had like a couple of albums. It was just like one song that I liked on each of them. Yeah. And then Dr. Feelgood, man. Oof.
Now, did you guys like Dr. Feelgood?
I like the song a lot, Dr. Feelgood.
Yeah.
Rest of the album's okay. Kickstart My Heart's got a good guitar riff to it.
Yeah. I was, we mentioned this on our the first part of 1989, the podcast we just did. And one of the other guys brought it up. Chris brought it up as one of his top 3 albums, and I'm like, no. They both Chris and Tim both like this album, and I was just like, okay, you guys bring me the craziest stuff that's just so cool, and you've introduced me to some really great albums that I had no idea even existed, like a band called Sword and a couple other bands that I'd never even heard of, and you guys like Dr. Feelgood. I'm shocked. I mean, Dr. Feelgood, the song is okay.
It's passable, yeah.
And then Kickstart My Heart it's got it's good introduction or intro guitar, but overall I expected much more out of this album.
I agree completely, yeah.
So
yeah, I think compared to the 2 previous albums, it was a lot better, but yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that. It was a little bit better. They take it up one notch.
Yeah, I think it was like a little more mainstream. Again, I like the first 2 albums. That's what I fell in love with. So
those are great choices for tonight's episode, Paul. Leading into the movie.
Yeah, a little bit better than last week, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. That's okay. Yeah, I wasn't too keen on the Jets, but funny. After we made that,
I know it was Air Supply. Even worse.
Your choice. Yeah, you had a couple winners last night, and I've heard the Jets maybe 5 times since last week we did that.
Oh, really?
Driving me nuts. It's showing up everywhere.
Yeah, it was there was the last episode was on 80s crushes, so our intro was Crush on You, and while we were getting ready to record, I was playing that for Robert. I was trying to get everything all set up.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.
And then Marissa came in a little bit later, and so she had to hear it. So.
Yep, that's enough Jets. So no Jets tonight.
No Jets tonight.
Let's plug it in and turn up to 11.
Exactly.
Nice.
Speaking of which, here we go. I'll play the iconic scene.
This is a top to what we use on stage, but it's very, very special because if you can see, the numbers all go to 11. Look, right across the board. 11, 11,
and most of
11,
the amps go up to 10.
Exactly.
Does that mean it's louder? Is it any louder?
Well, it's 1 louder, isn't it? It's not 10. You see, most blokes, be playing at 10. You're on 10 here, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. You're on 10 on your guitar. Where can you go from there? Where?
I don't know.
Nowhere, exactly. What we do is if we need that extra push over the cliff, you know what we do?
Put it up to 11.
11, exactly. 1 louder.
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
I'm still dying to get the T-shirt. Have you seen those? The volume. It just shows a volume knob with it pointing at 11, and these go to 11.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I thought you were talking about his shirt with the
the skeleton. Yeah, it's an actual replica of his chest or whatever.
Yeah, because the veins are blue. So
yeah.
One of many great scenes of this movie.
Oh, you know what? And I think that scene or that phrase, these go to 11, this goes to 11, take it to 11. That whole scene has been like passed on from generation to generation within.
Absolutely.
I mean, people today know it, and people that know it have never even seen the movie.
Exactly.
They have no idea what the movie is, but everybody just knows it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
And they know the content or the what it's referring to. Take it to the next step, and it's just it is one of the most iconic phrases from pretty much any movie of the 80s.
Agree.
Absolutely. It almost ranks up there with Luke, I'm your father. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It's seriously huge. So, yeah, it's a great scene. And then, go on.
No, it comes from a mockumentary too. Where those are they're really hit and miss. I think Christopher Guest mockumentaries are fantastic. I've seen all of them. It's not one of those things that it's not a popular film. It doesn't hit that mainstream so much. It's more of a smaller audience, but everybody knows that 11 reference.
Yeah, yeah. And I was going to bring up. I was going to actually talk about this cast and what they've done in other movies.
Yeah.
With Best in Shows.
It's great. It's hilarious.
That ranks up there in like my top 10 of all my movies of all time. I laugh so hard every time I see it. And then A Mighty Wind was also very funny. I mean, it's basically Spinal Tap in folk music.
Right.
All right. Yeah.
Taking the same direction. And those three are just hysterical. And I don't know have you ever seen Waiting for Guffman?
I have.
No.
The mockumentary style is just one of my favorite styles of comedy.
I love it.
That's why I love The Office. That's the same type of thing. The Parks and Recreation is the same exact thing. I don't know what it is about I think it's like that it just seems like they're interacting with the audience.
Yeah.
Versus performing for them,
I agree. I love that you have the straight man. And it's Rob Reiner in this one, right? He's asking the serious questions, digging for the information, and we know it's fake, right? These guys are giving these answers that we're supposed to believe, and it just cracks me up. I agree with The Office is the same way. Have you seen Mascots on Netflix?
I have not.
Same idea. Christopher Guest made that one as well about college mascots. Exact same mockumentary style. Okay. It is great.
The great thing about this was all the ad-libbing that was done.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just geniuses.
Yeah, you know what? That's something I never really... I thought about it, but I never looked into it to see whether that was the case. Whether this was like off the cuff, I mean, like were these guys just throwing it out there as they were going, or was this written?
Yeah, from what I was reading, they all threw it out there, and they actually the writing credits went to Christopher Guest, Michael McKean, Harry Shearer, and Rob Reiner, but they wanted every actor in the movie to have writing credits because they made up their own lines.
Isn't that amazing?
I think Best in Show was kind of like that too. I think that, from what I heard, that was ad-lib too.
Yeah,
for most of it.
That cast is unbelievable. The Eugene Levy and I can't remember the name. Catherine O'Hara.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, just too funny.
They're great.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That's something I was gonna talk about. Was the rest of this cast, what they've done with all their other movies? Just it's hysterical to me. It's all some of my favorites.
Yeah. I don't quite understand how they do it.
Without laughing.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
How they ever get through a take? Seriously, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't exactly know where the other guy's going to go with it.
Oh, that too. I mean,
you got to react to that.
These guys are king of improv.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely are.
They are so funny. All right, I'm marking Mascots right now as we talk. just add to my list.
It's not as good as Spinal Tap, but it's worthy to watch as the other Guest movies are. So.
Okay, cool.
I think you'll like Christopher Guest in that one. He's pretty funny.
Oh, he's in it? He's actually in it?
He's in it. Yeah, he's in it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he kills me.
So if you had to summarize this movie without getting to specific scenes yet, what would you guys say this is about?
Yeah, let me improvise here. It's Meathead does documentary.
Meathead.
Featuring, because that was the last thing the guy knew that he was. It was All in the Family, and then all of a sudden he was doing this.
Laverne and Shirley shows up, and
Count Rugen from Princess Bride. I guess he didn't prepare to die yet. Christopher Guest, and then Principal Skinner, Harry Shearer, with that awesome hairdo and mustache.
Mustache is great.
Yeah, so they come to the U.S. to tour for the first time in 6 years to support Smell the Glove, right?
Classic album.
And they have some ups and downs. He's documenting it all.
Yeah.
And then we have a Yoko Ono-ish character come in, kind of break up the band a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Janine,
right.
She looked familiar, so I looked up what she was in. She was in V, that TV series.
Really?
Yeah, I don't remember her from that, but that was mainly what she was known for. I thought she had looked familiar. And right in the beginning, you see Rob Reiner with the Navy hat on. It was USS Uralsea. It's Ooral, and there is a ship called the USS Coral Sea, but he was told that he had to get permission from the Navy to do it, so he changed the name.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that. I always thought it said Coral Sea.
Yeah,
wow.
No. So, yeah, I think on the Coral Sea is the aircraft carrier, so it would be CV-48, and he has OV-48. So,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with the O's. There must be some meaning for that. So, did we want to go through?
Yeah,
how do we want to go through the cast, or what do you want to?
Can we take a second? Sorry, I need a second. My dog sounds like he's choking. Just give me a second.
Take care of that.
Yeah, and my wife's not home, so hold on.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So did you guys insert a little bit of Big Bottom while I was gone?
Sure should have.
Yeah, we figured your dog was getting jealous because we were talking about Best in Show, so you wanted some attention there.
I'll tell you, those characters in Best in Show, it's not far from the truth for some of these dog people. Like we are total dog people. You know, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, but we do the Greyhound Rescue thing. We're very involved with the Greyhound Rescue, and I understand where they're getting some of these characters, because there are some strange people in the rescue world. They're great. They got big hearts and they love the animals, but there are some strange cookies out there, and I always wonder, is that how they see me? That dude's weird, man. What's up with him? So, all right. Dog is fine. Everything's cool. He just chokes on water sometime. I don't know what the deal is.
To deal with.
Yeah. So, let me jump back in and just say my quick synopsis of this movie. I don't know where you went. If I cut you off there.
No. Go ahead.
So, this mockumentary is just it was rock and roll, man. It was rock and roll of the early 80s, and it sums it up perfectly of how things really were in the underworld, in the soft underbelly of heavy metal. It seems so close to reality, and that's what comedy is, right? Comedy is reality.
Definitely. That's what makes it funny, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what makes it funny. So, and it's just sarcasm, basically, satire, or whatever you want to call it. But man, it sums up the heavy metal world so brilliantly from back then. So, anyway, that's my breakdown of the movie. The basic breakdown.
Mm-hmm. I think they had to have pulled in from their own reading, their own knowledge of concerts and bands. They had to put all that stuff in this movie and make fun of it, use it to make fun of. And I thought they did a fantastic job with it.
I often think of who the bands were that really inspired that, and I think the two that I think of the most are probably Iron Maiden and Judas Priest.
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it?
Okay, yeah, it just seems like those two are like the biggest influence on that. Although there's a lot of little notes of a lot of other bands. Maybe a little Foghat. I don't know.
Maybe Sabbath.
Oh yeah.
Has to be a little bit in there.
Yeah, I was Stonehenge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good start there. If you guys had to
all 18 inches of stainless.
Would that be one of your more favorite scenes?
Yeah. It's really hard to pick favorite scenes out of this movie because it rolls from one funny scene to another. I mean, it's just constant. I don't recall watching this movie and going, okay, this is kind of a slow part. This little area, this little section isn't as humorous as the rest. It's just one thing after another, and I don't know how these guys put it together so well.
In rewatching it this weekend, my purpose was to find something, the funniest scene. I think you're absolutely right. It just goes and goes and goes. There wasn't a funniest scene. There were a ton of funny scenes.
Yeah, and I think it's I don't know if I can call them scenes. I think it's some of the one-liners that they throw out. Just a little, and they're
the subtle
and just like subtle, like just kind of thrown in the middle of a conversation. You're like, oh my god, that is brilliant, comedic genius.
I do have my favorite line though.
Yeah.
The scene where Rob Reiner, the director, is talking to lead guitarist, right, Nigel, and he's playing the piano. And he's got this beautiful composition, and he's talking about the chords and his influence of Bach and Mozart and all this other stuff. And Rob Reiner asks him, "So, what's the title of that song?" "Lick My Love Pump." That's my favorite line.
Yeah, I think my favorite line, and this one's like way out in left field, but it just always struck me as really, really funny, and it's towards the end of the movie. It's in like the closing interview credits or whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And Rob Reiner's interviewing Michael McKean and David St. Hubbins. He says, that's an unusual name. Where does it come from? And he says, he was an actual saint. And Rob Reiner said, well, what was he a saint of? He was a saint of quality footwear. The patron saint of quality footwear. I'm like, what? Where did you come up with that? The patron saint of quality footwear. If you could have an epitaph,
that's it,
on your gravestone.
That's pretty dang good, isn't it?
The patron saint of quality footwear. Oh man.
Yeah, again, that's an example of ad-libbing, like Rob Reiner setting him up It's kind of like whose line is it anyway?
Oh, yeah.
Where they like he just kind of threw that out there about the saint, and then he just came up with that. One of my favorite ones was Fran Drescher when she was going off on Ian about the album cover. You put a greased naked woman on all fours with a dog collar around her neck and a leash with a man's arm extended out up to here, holding on to the leash and pushing a black glove in her face to sniff it. You don't find that offensive? You don't find that sexist? And he's like, oh, come on, it's 1982. And she's like, that's right, it's 1982. Get out of the 60s. We don't have that mentality anymore. And then Ian comes back, well, you should have seen the cover they wanted to do. It wasn't a glove, believe me.
I just got past that scene before we started the show. I had it on in the background as I was getting ready, and that scene went through, and I'm like, yeah, you should have seen the cover they wanted to do. It wasn't a glove.
Yeah, it's like another one of those throwaway subtle things. It wasn't a glove, believe me. He's kind of like he threw that in there.
Yeah.
The last second.
Yeah, it's one thing after another with this show, and it opens up and they start telling the story about all the drummers that they've gone through, and that's another story that is so true to so many bands. We went to, I can't remember who it was, but when we were doing our heavy metal album ones, one of the bands that Tim brought up, I wish I could remember the name of the band. It was more of an obscure band, but they had they literally had 37 different people in their band through their career.
Holy cow.
Okay? Because I'm like, I've never seen a list that long. I went through and I actually counted them. Like, I cannot believe how many people they've had in this band. I have to go back and try to find that and shoot you a note or something later, because it was like, oh man, 37 people, 11 drummers. Is that what they said? 11 drummers on this.
They keep going through them, don't they? The last one even dies as we're watching there. It blows up. Spontaneous combustion.
Spontaneous combustion. It's a rare thing, but two of their drummers died by spontaneous combustion.
Yeah. The first one died of a gardening accident. They're not going to ask any questions. They said it's better not to.
It's just best we just leave it.
Yeah, that was Ed Begley Jr. too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, let's talk about that. It's Ed Begley Jr. These memory shots of them, like during the Beatles era and during the Flowers era. Listen to the Flower People. Which I can never get that scene out of my head.
That's psychedelic.
Sure looks at the camera and says, "We love you." You can read his lips. Just scenes that they did where they did these flashbacks of classic footage. It looks so real. They did an amazing job of making them, the hairstyles, the sound of what they were going for. It was just it's so well done with that. That's one of the things I love about it.
Yeah, and this was before CGI, and they made them look young and like they were really in that time. So
it really did. They looked younger. It was weird.
Yeah.
If somebody's not paying attention, they wouldn't even notice that. I don't think. I think it happens sometimes. You make this type of show. Now it's pretty popular, like you mentioned earlier with The Office. These things happen all the time now. But if you don't follow music, if you're not really paying that close attention, I've known people that students watch this who thought Spinal Tap was a real band.
Well, they are.
Well, they are. You can buy the CD. They are.
They are.
I understand they're a band because of this.
They're about as real as the Monkees.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So, let's see. I also wanted to bring up something else. Hope you don't mind me monopolizing the conversation. All the cameos. Well, maybe not even cameos. Like early career moves for a lot of people.
Yep.
Like Ed Begley. I mean, I don't remember him being in much before that. I don't remember seeing him in anything else. Even Billy Crystal, really before he got really big. Let's see. Oh, Bruno Kirby, limo driver. Fran Drescher. I'd never seen her before that. I don't know about you guys. Oh, did you know Blackie Lawless was in this?
Oh no.
From Wasp. Yeah, he has a very small little credit.
Okay.
Way down. Like if you open up full cast on IMDb, he's way down at the bottom. So he probably had like this little tiny where he like walks through a scene or something. Fred Willard, he also went on to be a huge part of the other shows. Best in Show.
I love his characters in all these movies.
Oh, he's hysterical.
He's fantastic.
He's funny. Yeah.
Who else?
Howard Hessman's in there?
Yes.
No, he came from WKRP. That was before this, right?
Johnny Fever. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
He was before that, so he had a little bit. He had a little more popularity before that. Dana Carvey was one of the mine.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I didn't even recognize him until I really had to look, because he was so young in it.
Oh yes, he was.
Yeah.
Because this was released in '84, but it was really probably recorded all in like '82.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit early for a lot of these guys. Who else? Paul Schaefer. Artie Fufkin.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Artie Fufkin.
So funny.
Polymer Records. I'm Artie Fufkin.
Kick me.
Just go ahead. Kick me in the ass. He was hysterical in that. His bad comb over that he had going on.
Yeah.
Again,
he looked young there too. So
yeah. Great.
I just love the awkwardness of that scene. It's supposed to be packed with people for the album, and there's nobody there, and they're all staring at each other.
I have a few of my other favorite quotes, if you don't mind me throwing them out there.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
None more black. I've used that many times. David St. Hubbins at one point says, "I'm sure I'd feel much worse if I was under such a heavy sedation. If I wasn't under such heavy sedation."
Yeah.
Reacting to Nigel leaving the band.
He's leaving. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's the St. Hubbins part. Let's see. I believe virtually everything I read. I believe that makes me more of a selective human. That's David St. Hubbins also. Wise words from Mr. St. Hubbins, the patron saint of quality footwear. Yeah.
Oh, Patrick McNee was another one that was in it. Dennis Eaton Hogg.
Dennis
Eaton Hogg. I think he was wasn't he like the label owner or something, or the
the
record company,
record company owner or something like that. Let's tap into America.
So it was like a lot of cameos, blinking and missing parts in that. So awesome. Yeah, it was a really quick movie too. I didn't realize it was only about 82 minutes or something like that.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Because I have like the DVD. All right, now, how did you guys watch it?
I watched the DVD as well. I have it.
Okay, so let's talk about the DVD first, real quick. Okay. The opening. Like when you put the DVD in.
Oh yeah. You thought something wrong with it, didn't you?
Well, it's all black.
Yeah.
Black, of course. And the giant Spinal Tap goes over your head, and then it comes out, and then it goes really. Wait, there, stop. Wait. Now it's too small. It's too small. I can't read it. Yeah. And they have this conversation during that opening thing of where you can select, if you want to play the movie, you want to go to a scene or whatever. It's just so funny how they did that.
I want to get the DVD just for that now.
It really is. I mean, it's like a good minute and a half, 2 minutes of a conversation before it goes through and starts repeating itself.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's just I forgot where I was going to go with that. I know the DVD. That's fun. Another little funny bit that you don't see in the movie. But I was saying the DVD that I have has like 100 extra minutes of footage that wasn't in it that they cut out. Do you have that version?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of that stuff is hysterical.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
But I could see where I think mockumentary was kind of a little too new to the scene.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And they didn't want to take the chance of putting a lot of a long movie together, because most people might not have that attention span.
Yeah, for sure. You know, anything like this, you're taking a bit of a chance. You're trusting that the audience understands what you're doing.
Right.
And this is an early one. So, you know, I don't know if it's the first one. I have no idea. I'm not going to look it up either. I know it was an early one. And if you don't have the audience that gets it, then you don't want to have all that extra stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, I think there was one that came out before this about the Beatles called The Ruddles.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I believe that was before Spinal Tap. So that might have been like one of the original ideas of making a spoof on a documentary, especially on a band. But yeah, I could see where they would want to hold back on this a little bit. Do you know anything about the Blu-ray? If the Blu-ray has any extra?
I don't know. No, I haven't seen it.
I've considered looking into it to see what else it has on there. If it has any interactive stuff that they did afterwards, like when you guys talked about Fast Times at Ridgemont High. The Blu-ray has like a bunch of extra stuff on it that wasn't on the regular DVD.
Yeah.
So anyway,
this movie made only $4.7 million in the box office, so it really built its following afterwards.
For sure.
On video.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I could see that. Did it? Do you have that in front of you? How much it cost to make?
$2 million. So they did make money on it, double their money, basically.
But that's just box office.
Right, yeah, just box office, yeah.
Since then, though, I think it's made a lot more.
Oh, yeah, definitely, yeah.
Well, I mean, like earlier, I said there's a T-shirt. I mean, they got to be making little bits and pieces off of that stuff as time goes by, too.
And I think that's part of the issue of the lawsuit, isn't it?
There's a lawsuit?
Yeah, there is. I got going the link. Oh, it says it's not there right now. The Tampa Bay newspaper's down right now. They have a link on the.
I have it up on my screen.
Do you have it? Yeah, I read through it, but I didn't read that closely. Honestly, I just put the link in here. But there's a lawsuit about it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see if I can.
Yeah.
People using lines from the movie on unlicensed or something.
Let me see. I can't get the article. Can you get the article to come up, Paul?
Yeah,
okay.
I still have it up. I never took it down.
Okay.
I'll read it's really short, so I'll just read the article. It says, this lawsuit goes far beyond 11. This is Spinal Tap. So, this is our friend Steve Spears.
Nice.
This is Spinal Tap co-creators Christopher Guest and Michael McKean, along with director Rob Reiner, have decided to join co-star Harry Shearer suit against Vivendi and Studio Canal and are now demanding $400 million in damages. The Hollywood Reporter says that the complaint remains the same as Scherer's original claim filed last October. The actors and directors say they've been given less than $200 in merchandise and a music sale income over the last several decades. The original agreement over the movie, released in 1984, was for the foursome to get 40% of net receipts. Scherer's original complaint asked for $125 million. Though Spinal Tap is considered one of 1984's best movies and one of the best satires of the last 40 years, it wasn't a big success at the box office, but rentals, movie sales, and soundtrack sales are surely worth more than $200, right? So, yeah, I guess that's up for the courts to decide on the fine line between clever and stupid. Another great line from the movie.
Well, I mean, that speaks to what we were talking about, though, that it's made so much money since it came out.
Oh, it had to have. It has to have. So, do you guys want to segue into the music side of things?
Absolutely. It is about a rock band, right?
Yeah. I mean, we really haven't touched on any of the music.
If I could, one more line.
Yeah, go ahead.
One more line. The music it bleeds into the music. Now, you guys remember I teach English, right?
Yes.
There's a part where Derek Small, the bass player, is talking. He's being interviewed by Rob Reiner's character. He says, we're very lucky in the band in that we have two visionaries, David and Nigel. They're like poets, like Shelley and Byron. They're two distinct types of visionaries. It's like fire and ice. Basically, I feel my role in the band is to be somewhere in the middle of that, kind of like lukewarm water. The Shelley and Byron reference is what I love.
Okay,
Two
you
great
have to
poets.
educate me on that. I don't know
Yeah.
Shelley and Byron.
They're two very, very famous British poets.
Okay.
And you would, any kind of anthology of British poets, you'd find them in there. Percy Bysshe Shelley has a great poem called Ozymandias, one of my favorites. I'm not a big Byron fan, but he was a kind of ladies' man, and his poetry was pretty popular back in the Romantic period. So I appreciate the literary reference in there.
Interesting. Yeah, you got to figure they're going to throw something that actually has some depth to it,
right,
in there once in a while, for to get to even those people that are going, wow, this is really kind of stupid. But now they're talking about Shelley and Byron.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
all right.
There'll be some English teacher out here who likes that. It's a good reminder for me, though. The actors are trained. Most of those guys who go to college first, and the repertory theater and the college theater and stuff, they're pretty well read, and they have to be to do this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, acting, the career of acting is not an easy career.
No, very difficult.
It's not as easy as some people might think it is.
Exactly. Well, thank you for letting me do that. Let's get to the music now.
Sure. Did you have any more lines that you want to talk about, Paul? I hope I didn't steal any.
Oh, no. No, it's all good. So I'm sure we'll hit upon some more, too. So, yeah, with Bruno Kirby, when he was asking about the book they're reading, it was the Sammy Davis Jr. book, and then he was going on about Frank Sinatra, and they shut the window on him.
As he's talking.
Yeah.
He says, this rock and roll, it's just a fad.
It's a fad.
It's a fad. Frank knows everything, apparently.
Yeah.
Frank, the end-all, be-all of entertainment.
Of course. How legitimate do you think the soundtrack is?
I'm sorry, what?
How legitimate do you think that soundtrack is? Every time I watch it, I kind of like the music, honestly.
Some of it, I think "Tonight I'm Gonna Rock Ya" is I think that's a great song.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep.
Hellhole is not too bad. Big Bottom is just hilarious.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sex Farm,
I like that. Where they were playing that at the Air Force.
At the Air Force
party. That's pretty funny.
Fred Willard is.
He's great.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. What's the rundown? You got the rundown of the?
I do.
Yeah.
Listed on the soundtrack, it says "Hellhole" is the first track. Then "Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight," "Heavy Duty," "Rock and Roll Creation," "America," "Cups and Cakes," "Big Bottom," "Sex Farm," "Stonehenge," "Give Me Some Money," and "Listen to the Flower People."
Give me some money.
Yeah, these songs stick in your head too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like it starts off with "Tonight I'm Gonna Rock You Tonight" to start off the movie, and it ended with that too. Right. And then it goes into "Pop, Look, and Listen." It was like one of those old 60s ones.
Yep, the throwback.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, you got them in order on your sheet here. That's good. And then Big Bottom in Philly.
Right.
Big Bottom. Talk about mud flaps, my girl's got them.
Even that "All the Way Home" that they kind of like did on the spot there too.
Yeah.
When Rob Reiner's interviewing, were they in a diner or a restaurant or something?
Yeah.
They talk about one of their early songs.
Yeah, the first song that they wrote together.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
You only had 6 words.
Yeah.
Can we count the a cappella version of "Heartbreak Hotel" and when they're in Memphis?
And Elvis is great.
When they can't get the tone right.
Yeah.
They can't figure out the harmonies.
It really puts it all in perspective.
Just a visual of that, like Nigel holding his hair there, trying to get that.
Okay, Big Bottom. Then what was next? All the Way Home.
All the way, yeah.
And we've got we've got armadillos in our trousers. Another great line.
Yeah.
Hellhole. That's a good rockin' song.
It is.
what else you got, Aaron? Oh yeah, Heartbreak Hotel. You got that. Listen to the Flower People. That was just the flashback video on that is awesome too. It's so they nailed it with the psychedelic feel. All the camera motion of it flowing, the way they did it, and then Harry Shearer again saying, "We love you."
Oh, seriously.
So speaking of him, Rock and Roll Creation, when he got stuck in the pod.
Oh yeah,
that was another great scene.
Yeah,
because Nigel and David are playing while he's trying to get out the whole time, and then at the end of the song they go back in the pods, and then he finally gets out as soon as they get back in. Yeah. So then he goes to hurry up to get back in, and then he gets his arm caught, and then closes on his arm.
Was that when they were in Cleveland?
I can't remember if that was in Cleveland or where did they get lost. No, that was another great scene.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
I've heard people say that randomly too. Yeah. All right, Cleveland, yelling it out for no reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, they're lost in the basement down there.
Yeah. They run into the same guy twice.
Yeah. He took a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's see this song, Heavy Duty, I have here.
Heavy Duty.
Of course, Stonehenge.
Yeah. Stonehenge. Yeah, that was when they were stuck. And these are all shows, of course, that weren't canceled.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, yeah.
Exactly.
a running theme through the movie. Boston was canceled. Yeah, this one was canceled. We've been canceled here. When they get to the hotel and they're checking in, the show's been canceled, but we got our seats.
I love the Boston cancellation. He goes, I wouldn't worry about it. It's not a very big college town.
It's not a very big college town. Yeah. Stonehenge. 18-inch Stonehenge. That makes me also think of Janine and her whole feel of the not the supernatural, but like the what do you call it? Astronomy and
astrological.
Astrology.
Not astronomy. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Astrology. I was lost for words there. Sorry. And her thing with the signs and then those crazy drawings that they came up with. She made of each person, like they're these masks, and the whole the hatred between Janine and Nigel, and she makes his look like the devil.
Yeah.
Of course, David's the lion, the pretty lion.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a pretty lion that eventually has to wear a really hideous sweatshirt that she made for him. Like a rainbow and a unicorn on it or something.
Yep.
What other songs? All these things, they squirrel me. Because I think one scene makes me think of another scene, makes me think of another scene. I won't shut up about it. So you guys got to jump in every once in a while and just tell me to take a break.
That's what's supposed to happen.
How about
movie, right?
God, sex.
How about Derek's Jazz Odyssey?
Oh yeah, we're gonna taking the band in a new direction. That's for you.
They're at a music festival. There's like hardly anybody in the audience. It's like one of those outdoor arenas, and there's they had a few fans there that were giving them thumbs down and everything.
One just jumped in my head was when Nigel's showing Rob Reiner the guitars, and there's one he's showing hear the sustain. I don't hear anything. Well, you could. One of the chorus to get the tag on it. Don't touch that one. You can't touch it. No, you looked at it long enough. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Don't even look at it. Yeah.
Can't even look at it.
There's, like you said, there's so many great little bits like that.
Yeah, I can watch it over and over, and I have watched it many times. Yeah, and having Janine as the that little, like you said before, the Yoko Ono type person, that was good to have somebody come in there and kind of throw things out of whack.
Yeah,
doing it.
Yep.
Man, just one thing after another.
Oh, the Nigel doing his guitar solos, like he's playing his guitar solo, he hit one with his foot, playing with his foot, and then he was on a violin.
He was playing the guitar with the violin.
The violin, yeah.
Or I think it's Hellhole when he goes back, he's leaning back, and he falls on his back. He keeps playing. They're trying to lift him up,
Yeah, like a roadie or somebody. Yeah.
And I gotta say, Nigel cannot play guitar for. Those guitar solos are horrendous.
Yes, they are.
And of course, they did that on purpose.
Absolutely. I think it makes the character though, doesn't it?
Oh, so funny. He even says at one point that the solos, he's known for his solos, so that's what he brings. You know. To the
I love the looks on his face when he's playing them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in the Navy, I had a roommate that was a guitar player, so he'd call it guitar face. So he'd make guitar faces. So that's that. Then after that, I noticed that a lot of the guitarists, when they do their solos, you see them making those faces. So he got that down real good.
Yeah, you got to figure they've been to a few concerts and had to look at this stuff.
Yeah.
They had to have known like a lot of this music.
Yeah. Do you think real bands watch this and go, yeah, that happened to us?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. First of all, the guy that brought Spinal Tap up, Chris, from the mixtape show, he has been in many bands. He was in one though for a long time that opened up for locally here in the Tampa area for a lot of bigger bands. So, I mean, they even opened up for Metallica at one point.
Oh.
And Motorhead and several others back in that late 80s, early 90s kind of a thing. Anyway, he says that there's so much in that movie that is just so true to form, and it sold me. I mean, I knew it anyway. You just tell that this is all just reality blown up a little bit, and it's so funny. And I bet that bands love it.
I think you're right.
Because swear I heard somebody say, like, it might have been Hetfield.
He did this week. You're right, at the Grammys.
He mentioned
he did
something about Spinal Tap.
Yep, he said he had a Spinal Tap moment, didn't he?
Something like that.
Wasn't the microphone wasn't working or something like that?
I can't remember now. I just caught a little blurb of it somewhere as I was scanning through stuff. Huh, too funny. Yeah. Yeah, they definitely watch this stuff and love it.
Yeah, I was looking up some fun facts about the movie, and there were people that thought it was real, and Ozzy Osbourne was one of them. Then when he says that when he found out that they weren't real, then he said that they seem quite tamed compared to what we got up to anyway.
It'd be great if they just they had a reunion tour like I don't know 10, 15 years ago. It was kind of a spoof thing, but I think it'd be great for some band to have them open up for them.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it would be a huge hit. People would love it.
Absolutely. If you get a little older audience.
Oh yeah.
I think they would just eat it up.
That's really who's going to a lot of the shows.
You're right. No, you're right about that.
It's our age group that's really going. We went to Van Halen 2 years ago when we first, well, not even 2 years ago, when they came to Tampa. We went to Van Halen, and it was all our age. I mean, there's, it's fun to see some of the kids getting involved with it and some of the younger, audience, but really, it's a lot of that. It's a lot of our age group, the 40s and like early 50s.
I agree with you.
And for them to have like a tour with, I don't know, somebody popular from that era, like Iron Maiden, would be hysterical.
That'd be awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, it would be the right audience and everything too.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, these guys play their own music too, right? I mean, it's not like a stand-in band.
Yeah. It sounds like they do.
It sure does. Especially Nigel.
well, they got writing credits for the songs and everything, so I'm assuming that must include the music, so they must be able to play.
And I think they were able to take that over to A Mighty Wind.
For sure.
The music side of the musical talent.
And how different the characters from Alan Shearer's character from this one to Mighty Wind. Just the appearance.
Yeah, totally different. So,
well, different type of music has to be different, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Those are my favorite scenes and lines.
Yeah.
You guys got any others?
No, I think, man. I mean, we could sit and reminisce about just about every scene.
Yeah, you're right.
All night long.
Right, you're right.
It's one thing after another. The air traffic controllers, the Air Force Base, cutting in on their wavelength or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He was just a little green globule. Yeah.
When he's interviewing the drummer, aren't you afraid something's going to happen to you? You know the law of averages says you'll survive. Yeah. just stuff like that to the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh, and then Derek getting stopped at the metal detector.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
The cucumber wrapped in tin foil.
Tin foil, yeah.
In front of everybody.
Because I don't think I don't know if aluminum foil would set it off nowadays, but. Yeah.
Classic.
And
classic.
There's like the clothing, the costume design was perfect in the show too. When with Derek and his appendage, his fifth appendage. I mean, you could really see that they accentuated it in his pants. You know, he's there. Yeah. Of course, they have armadillos in their pants, so it's got to be that way.
Oh, with the cold sores, I was reading that there was a subplot where they were each like sleeping with the lead singer of the band that opened for them or something like that.
Oh, really?
But then they ended up doing away with it. But I guess they left that in with the cold sores, though.
Oh yeah, the cold sores. That's something you see. All of them have cold sores. They're walking around all at the same time.
I have trouble believing it. People out there have not seen this, but if they haven't, you gotta check it out.
Yeah,
definitely.
On the 80s reboot, we did a show on our favorite, our guilty pleasure movies.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the movies that didn't make it very well. And I'm like, man, I think Spinal Tap seems like kind of a guilty pleasure, but it's got this huge cult following that doesn't really qualify it to be a guilty pleasure. But my wife watches it and she's going, I cannot believe you watched this thing.
Yeah.
She does not find that funny at all.
Right.
And she loves, hard rock and heavy metal and all that stuff, but she's like, this is just so stupid.
I think that's how satire works, though. I mean, not everybody likes satire, I'm not that surprised. I'm not that surprised that my wife won't even watch it, so
she won't watch it.
No. I said, no, this is really funny. And she'll watch a few minutes. Nah, I'm not going to watch this. All right. You know what you're missing.
Now, do you believe that the main audience of your music is somewhere young men between the age of 12 and 18? Where does that put us, Robert?
Yeah. Well, I think
mentally.
That's about right. Yeah.
You don't hear me arguing. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, like the band Black and Blue said, hold on to 18.
That's right.
Oh man. I think that's what we all kind of long for, right? Going back to that age.
I do it every day. It's a little bit each day, whenever I have a chance.
Yep.
I'm okay with it.
And you're bringing that to the kids you're teaching.
Every day. Every day.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretend not to like it, but no, secretly they appreciate it. A little bit at least.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, this movie might be a little inappropriate at times.
It is.
to do a show on or to do a class on.
I have found some scenes though that work with satire. We use pieces of this, a little bit of Monty Python, a couple songs, Money for Nothing, Genesis is Jesus He Knows Me. So there's plenty of things we can use to get the satire across. So yeah, it works.
You mean you can't use Sex Farm?
No, it probably is not going to work. Lick My Love Pump probably won't have that word. But there are things
I'm not even comfortable saying that.
It's just, and I said it earlier, it's one of my favorite lines, and watching it really again this time, I knew it was coming. I still laughed out loud.
Oh, yeah. It's just so he just says it so nonchalantly.
Exactly.
I think that's just what it makes it that line so perfect. It just comes out of nowhere. It's like that beautiful little piano thing, and he says, it's very sad. The key of E. I just like the key of. Is it E or D? I don't know. The key of E. It's just so sad, and he's playing. Yeah, lick my love pump. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, it sounds like a Steel Panther song.
Yeah, those guys are funny, man.
Yeah.
People think they're real, like they're not spoofing.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like it's not supposed to be funny and hysterical.
That's the nature of satire, boys. That's the way it is. Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah, good talk. Yeah, I mean, we could just. I'm probably going to go watch the rest of it because I didn't get to finish it. Because my wife's not home yet, so that gives me more time to finish watching.
Perfect.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's usually one of the DVDs that I'll bust out when she's like out of town for business or something, or goes out with the girls for the night or something. Mm-hmm. I'll just pop in a little bit of Spinal Tap and
perfect.
It's great for background stuff too. You just leave it on in the background while you're doing other stuff around the house.
And you start singing "Tonight We're Gonna Rock It." We're gonna rock it.
Yep. Yeah. Hear a line and just start busting up.
Yep, exactly.
While I'm doing the dishes.
All right. So that'll about wrap it up. Scott, would you like to give out your information, how people can find you?
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter on 2 different accounts. I got @ScottsEye, and that's mostly my photography stuff, and then @80s Mixtape, or I'm sorry, 80s Auto Reverse, which is it's part of the podcast from 80s Reboot Overdrive that we do, and we talk mostly about music, 80s Mixtape, Auto Reverse, and it's a good time. I also have a page on Facebook called 80s Mixtape Auto Reverse.
I love your guys' podcast. I hope you keep going with it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Do you have any plans of what you're going to be doing next?
We're going to try to continue with the Icon series.
Okay.
Picking certain actors and talking about them. I have a list of still 20 people that I want to talk about that we haven't gotten to yet.
Cool.
And I'm sure they have their list, and they have a few more obscure ones. I'm not going to give any spoilers yet. And we might try something different with a movie review from the 80s. And
cool.
We're kind of working on a little idea that might be kind of fun.
Well, look forward to it.
Yeah. So we'll keep you in the loop for sure.
Awesome.
So yeah, it's a blast doing the podcast, and I just want to say thank you so much for doing this podcast and having me on and to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time. And I knew I wanted to talk to somebody about this. I wasn't going to be able to just geek out on my own. I know that. I need somebody to talk to with. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, thanks again.
Great having you again.
Yeah, I'd love to be on again if you guys come up with another topic that.
Absolutely.
Definitely, yeah.
If you got something that strikes your fancy, let us know.
Okay, I'll come up with something. Sure.
Yeah, if you want to geek out about something else, hey, we're game.
Sweet.
Easy to geek out, boys.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure having you here.
Thanks.
And for Return to the 80s, you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher and anywhere you get your podcast from. And also, could you please leave us a review and rate us? So far, Scott's the only one that's reviewed us.
Well, I was so excited when you guys were actually on iTunes versus you had your first, was it 3 or 4 episodes?
Like 4 or 5.
Weren't
yeah,
on until you got on the iTunes, then you brought them on afterwards, right?
Yeah. I did that on purpose to have 5 loaded up right away on iTunes. So, yep. So now every episode goes up as soon as I publish it. So.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah,
it's you guys do a great show. I love it. I started listening to the Foreigner one as I was on the plane. I was listening to it on my iPod, and we landed. And I'm like, okay, I never got back to it. And then vacation started.
Oh, and that's
and
I've been listening to the podcast, man.
I've been out of sorts ever since. So, all right.
And you can find us at returntothe80s.wordpress.com. You can look us up on Facebook, Return to the 80s, and also on Twitter at Return to the 80s. And again, you can email us at returnto80s@gmail.com. You give us your thoughts and memories, Spinal Tap, or anything 80s.
Answer the trivia question. Answer the music question.
Yep, and if you have any suggestions any topics you'd like to hear,
absolutely,
you can let us know.
All right, guys. Good times. That was awesome.
Yes, definitely.
Thanks again, Scott.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
You guys have a great night. All right.
You too.
You too. All right. Take care, everybody.
Peace.
And remember,
be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!
Sit, Lizzie, sit. Good dog.